you are an academic scholar of Hindu studies, and you're also a practitioner. So that kind of, puts you in a different slot altogether. While there are American scholars who are Indologists, quote unquote, I won't name them, but there have been several, sort of very unpleasant episodes in the past where, you find that these Indologists or scholars of Indian texts, Indian treatises, they call themselves Indologists, have often misinterpreted our texts or, twisted them around to suit their agenda. So have you had any, first of all, how much in agreement are you with some of these Indologists? Let's say Wendy Doniger, for example. And have you had any encounter? Have you had any, encounter with them or discourse with them? Have you met them, talked to them about these issues?
Sure. Yes, I mean, what scholars often do, and now I'm just talking sort of generically, and then we'll zero in on more on what you're talking about. But everyone has a theory that they want to prove or demonstrate. So you will find sometimes a tendency to try to fit the data to the theory. And so you'll get an interpretation of a text because someone wants to advance, let's say, a psychoanalytic approach to text. So they'll find something that they think lends itself to that. So they'll do that. Yeah. And then someone who knows the text well from a more traditional perspective will say, what are you talking about? Right? It has nothing to do with that text. So there is that kind of talking past each other that happens. So you mentioned one scholar in particular, Wendy Doniger. She was actually one of my teachers when I was in graduate school.
She was at the University of Chicago, wasn't she?
She was at University of Chicago, and that's where I did my degrees. Now, she was not my primary teacher because my interests were philosophical. So I worked with a professor named Paul Griffiths, who's now at Duke University. I think he's at Duke. He's moved around a bit. So I was more interested in philosophy and in fact, I did my dissertation on Jain philosophy, and Professor Doniger and I, we got along well. I mean, there was no animus, right? There was no negativity in that sense. I was just a student, but she knew I was a practitioner, and that I disagreed with some of her interpretations of things. And as long as I could make a good argument for my perspective, she was very respectful, I found. I mean, I did not have a problem as a student there. So in that sense, it was not difficult, but it was difficult in the sense that I didn't find so many people wanting to pursue the kinds of questions that I wanted to pursue. And my interests are actually much closer to the more traditional readers of these texts, right? So, when I read Shankaracharya, I'm interested in what he's saying about reality and consciousness. I'm not interested in his sexuality or his social milieu all that much. I'm interested in what he's saying.
Did he have a bad, abusive father?
Did he have a bad abusive? Yeah. Is that why he became a sannyasi, right? Because we could create a theory right here, right? He had a bad family experience, so he said, "Nope, that's not for me," and became a sannyasi. No, we don't know any. In fact, from all the accounts we had, he was actually very close to his mother. Went back and did her funeral ritual, even though he was not technically supposed to do that as a sannyasi. Yeah. So I just found my interests were very different, and but no one interfered with me. No one tried to stop me from pursuing what I pursued. Everyone was very supportive. I ended up getting a job, one of the few jobs in my field that were available when I finished in the year 2000 was the one I still hold here at Elizabethtown College. In my subsequent career, I've had no problem publishing books, publishing articles, getting requests to speak. So I can't honestly say that I feel that I've been oppressed or marginalized in the academy, despite being very open about the fact that I'm a Vedantan, I'm a practitioner, I'm devotee of Sri Ramakrishna, follower of Swami Vivekananda and the Holy Mother. No one seems to be bothered by that. The only time I had a very unpleasant experience was, so I was given I was very honored to receive an award from the Hindu American Foundation in 2018 for work I've done on trying to improve things like these textbook representations and so on. And someone was very upset by that. And just launched a really nasty personal attack against me online. And within the context in which that happened, within that chat group, that person was actually censured, right? They were told, you can't do this. And I tried to show restraint, right? I didn't reply back because the rules of the group are you're not supposed to get into a fight, there on the group. So I wrote to the person privately and sort of point by point said, well, you said this about me. This isn't true. You said this about me, but that's only half true. Here's the whole story. No reply, right? I don't think the person was interested in a conversation. I think they're making a point by doing this big splashy, thing. Yes. And I've never heard anything from them since, and that's fine with me. But it didn't hurt my career. And in fact, a lot of people wrote to me with great sympathy and support. It's like, oh my goodness, are you okay? And I wasn't okay because the timing was very poor. This person launched this attack against me the same week that my uncle passed away of Alzheimer's disease, and a very dear elderly friend of ours in our local Indian community had also passed away. And so I was already having a very unpleasant week. And then this happened, right? So it was like, okay, that was the week for my bad karma to come to fruition, right? So that was very unpleasant. But I'd have to say that I have not had a bad time in the academy. Now, it could be that there were opportunities I did not receive because of that, but I'm not aware of them. I don't know, maybe I could be teaching at Harvard now if I had taken a different path in life, but I don't necessarily think so. I have no evidence for anything like that. So my experience has not been bad. I know people who've talked about having very bad experiences. And I think this is often the case if you're at certain universities where this sort of way of thinking is prevalent, then I think you're expected to conform to that. But I am the only person in my field at my small college where I teach, so I'm total academic freedom.
Please remember to subscribe to us and switch on the notifications for this channel. For our other social media links, more content, and to support our work, please visit citti.net. Dhanyavad. Namaskar.